Got a
Yeah.
what if now in the works. Old what if that we used to be my thing. We're bringing them back, so it's the perfect time. Jumping on.
Okay. So you know what? At the end of the episode, I'm going to ask you, because I asked you this before, so maybe it changed, the biggest what if in NBA history. But right now, I wanted to talk draft.
Yeah.
I think it would be malpractice if a team does not take AJ Dybantsa number 1. Thoughts?
I feel like it's fair. I feel like, okay, so we've got a few different camps here. I guess one, Darren Peterson has cooked. Like, he had 61 points versus AJ in high school, but AJ had 50 or something. AJ also is averaging more assists per game than Darren Peterson. I feel like that goes underrated. Like, AJ's a small forward / wing combo. Darren Peterson is a guard. So we've got Darren Peterson averaging like 20. We've got the Kobe Bryant comparisons. I've seen Michael Jordan comparisons to Darren Peterson. The question with Darren Peterson is right now.
Do you see the Michael Jordan, Darren Peterson comp?
I'm seeing a smooth jumper. I'm seeing like he plays very smooth. He's very in control. He's got the ability to score from all over the court, the pull up. I mean, his jumper, again, like, it's just like, that's the kind of jump shot I want to see.
When we're talking about Mike, it's like the athleticism. Yes, Darren Peterson's very athletic, but he's not Michael Jordan athletic. Come on.
He's not even close. We're never seeing, like, he's not jumping 44 inches. He's not posterizing guys. I don't know where that came from. Kobe Bryant, I'm telling, but like, that's what you see Kobe, Anthony Edwards, and it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, he's way more of just like a pure shooter. In high school, a lot of these guys in high school are just absolute monsters with their dunking and everything. But like, you don't see it in college. You don't see any of these guys, flying through the air like that. Like, even AJ, love AJ. I do think AJ should go number 1, but AJ's getting that Tracy McGrady comparison, and AJ's not as athletic as young T-Mac was. Like, young T-Mac was flying dunk contest, also, but I think AJ just has a very advanced game. I think AJ also, when we look at AJ, like, okay, so when we have these prospects, first of all, what do you think about this? What happened to the high school hype? There used to be, like, I don't know, let's say like 6 years ago, maybe it's 8, like that 8 years to 5 years ago gap, where legitimately, like, Nico Mannion. Do you remember Nico Mannion?
Of course. Redhead. Yeah,
exactly. Nico Mannion. Why do we know Nico Mannion? Because he was getting million views on his high school mixtapes. Now it's like Darren Peterson is getting like 200K, like, on his biggest games. Like, it's like Cam Boozer versus AJ. It's getting like 300,000 views. What happened? Why have we stopped caring?
I think they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. And I think that process started early for AJ. And now there's just more time to pick his game apart. But I do think, like, if you don't think he's the number 1 pick, you're overthinking it. That's just my opinion.
He's able to do it all, seemingly, already. He also, so you know about his dad, with his dad's like militant work ethic?
Because of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. So when I was looking into that, I kind of like softened it because I think it's a good thing, but it was kind of like Pistol Pete vibes, where
Shouts to press.
Yeah. Maravich's dad was like really just like pressing him to become the best player that he could be, with some unorthodox. But like, Press Maravich was doing things like, so Press Maravich did, like, Pete was playing high
school basketball in 8th grade.
Yeah, but he was playing middle school football. So he's playing middle school football, and he was quarterback. And Press Maravich had the middle school. I don't know how he was able to do this. Maybe he was just like that guy. But Press Maravich had the middle school football coach not like let the line, like, he would just purposely allow the other team to sack Pete as much as possible, so that Pete would give up on football and just only focus on basketball. So Press Maravich was nuts.
Yeah.
It seems like AJ's dad is more just very militant, just a cop, just made it himself and really wants the best for his kids. I'll say it's interesting I didn't grow up in a household where I had to do 100 push-ups under the surveillance of a camera. So that's interesting, but it does seem like, it worked. Actually, Shaq's dad was like that, but it didn't fully stick.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the Marinovich story. Also, Pete had his problems, later in life,
Definitely.
and it could have been partly because of that. But, yeah, I mean, Pete's one of the greatest to ever live and super underrated. So I think AJ has it all. Like, to your point, that work ethic. Then you got kind of the eye-popping athleticism. Then the analytics stuff is pretty good, and he keeps improving,
The analytics stuff's so good. But, yeah, for the work ethic, to wrap that up, he has been doing 3 practices a day since middle school. And then, like, playing summer league games. And then he's also the NBA players guy. Like, he's been in those pickup runs with Kevin Durant, the Devin Bookers, and they're all like, okay, yeah, you're up next. We love you. You're amazing. Like LeBron has said, I've got my eyes on him. Pause maybe, but they all love him. And then when he was at BYU this summer, he enrolled early, and they had to ban him from the gym for a bit. He was coming in so often. They're like, you're going to burn yourself out before the season even begins. And like his dad forced him to go on a vacation where they were like away from a basketball because of how relentless his work ethic is. So then you add in that combined with the analytics are nuts for him because you go young T-Mac, you're a scorer. Like Darren Peterson's a scorer. Normally that means like maybe you're a bit inefficient, especially as a college freshman. And that's what we're working with. From the scouting report, you're going, okay, he's got to clean up the shot selection, got to do those things. The only thing AJ really needs is to up his volume of 3-pointers at this point. I mean, he's not shooting terribly. He's shooting like 35, 36% from 3. And he's been improving there. That's really it, though. In terms of analytics, he's top 10 in the nation in PER, top 10 in the nation in win shares per 48 minutes, like top 10 in the nation in box score plus minus. He's an analytic megastar. If it wasn't for Cam Boozer, who's like first in the nation in every single possible analytic, then AJ we'd be talking about a historic season, and AJ would be National Player of the Year. He's gonna be runner-up probably to Cam Boozer. So when you combine that, though, like then you got Cam Boozer. And I really love Cam Boozer. I mean, the Darren Peterson stuff's so weird. Like when you have
who's subbing himself? Is he subbing himself out, or is the
subbed himself out? He subbed himself out, and then the last 2 games he hasn't looked like himself. People are saying like, okay, does he have some kind of injury that he's not talking about?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to not let an injury be known, but you're going to get the physicals anday eventually. So
yeah, you're going to get the physicals eventually. And then also everything's weird about it because now his work ethic, not his work ethic, his winning nature is being called into question.
Well, you've compared him to Zion and Ben Simmons. I don't really think it'll go that way, but
I purposely said, I said some people have said that.
Okay, some people. Okay.
But that's because, I mean, Jay Williams was talking about, and I don't, I want to stand on my own opinions. But my own opinion is still, I don't want to be overreaction.
Are you concerned about Darren Peterson's work ethic and love for the game? Mike Korzemba.
I think we need to ask questions at this point. I don't think it's something you can just ignore. Because
and that's not the reason why I have AJ ahead of him. I just think AJ should be ahead of everybody at this point. Yeah,
I mean 6'9" too. Like the thing with AJ is like he's coming with no problems. Like this with the Darren Peterson, you're like, what's going on? I don't know what this is. I don't need to mess up the number 1 pick. Like
don't overthink it. I think is
why and AJ's somehow been 3rd for so long on these things.
This actually reminds me of the Anthony Edwards draft, even though he was drafted number 1, everybody was kind of being very critical when it was quite obvious to me that he was the most generational player in that draft.
I remember Ant trolled though as well. He was like,
they were like questioning his feel for the game, and I'm a big feel for the game guy, but this guy had the obvious talent. I remember at the gym one day I was just watching him, and he had like 35 and a half easy.
Yeah, he's just. I know. Ant was fun, because Ant made some kind of comment like that he would go and play football. He's made like before the draft. And so I think he was just like trolling and just being funny and just
It also shows his confidence because he just feels like he's the best at everything. It kind of shows like confidence 100%. Is important, you know.
Also, Anthony Edwards. So yeah, it always comes down. It always comes down to work ethic, and it always comes down to how much you love basketball. Though that's the Darren Peterson thing that everyone's concerned about. I don't think it's as much the injuries because, so whoever his representation guy is that was, saying, oh, everything's fine. He said, we shouldn't question Darren Peterson's will to win. And then he said he's taking an IV before or after every game. Like he's literally hooked up to an IV.
This is big. Like this is like big Porzingis vibes right now.
It's like, is that not insane though? Like, okay, so we're saying we shouldn't worry about him. He needs an IV to play college basketball at the age of 19. Like, I think that's
man. I hope the guy's okay. I hope the guy's okay, but that's hilarious.
Like, well, yeah, like what are we talking about? Like, this is a massive worry. Like, what's going on with him? Is he okay? Like, maybe he loves basketball, maybe everything, but that is AJ. He has the athleticism. He has the wingspan. He has the desire to win. I really love when he was a sophomore. So technically he was like a junior though, because it was the classic like he was in 8th grade twice. So he was in 8th grade twice because he sat back a year, and so then he was playing like with older. So it was like Marvin Bagley did that. Marvin Bagley was like the #1 recruit because he was also a year older than everyone. But then AJ then reclassified back into his normal class. So it's a little confusing. So like Cooper Flagg like actually went a year up. AJ sat a year back and then was like, oh wait, no, I'm good enough to be in the top 3 here. So I'm gonna go back to my original class. But so AJ was technically he was a sophomore, technically should have been a junior. But regardless, he led all of the Nike Peach Jam with like 26, 27 points per game, and he was outplaying guys like Dylan Harper and everything. And it's just like he's been proving himself at every level, and also at BYU. First 10 games, 20 points per game. Since then, since I posted the video, it's been even better. It's like he's averaging over 28 points per game since like after his first.
Yeah, I don't really understand why he wouldn't be the #1 pick. I just don't get it at all. I don't get it. I just think it's people following other people's opinion and not just like, let's just watch these guys for a second. Like if you really didn't even know about basketball that much, you just watch them, you'd be like, that guy's the #1 pick right there. Like, you know what I mean? Even without the numbers, it's kind of like obvious in a lot of ways. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing.
I'm with you. I'm with you because there's not even anything that we could point to. Like, what he's averaging 2.5-ish turnovers a game, but still also averaging more assists per game than turnovers.
And does Boozer give you like great college basketball player vibes ever?
So you don't like Boozer?
I wouldn't say I don't like I love Drew Timmy's game. I love Drew Timme. I think Drew Timme is a top 200 player in the world. But how does your game translate to the modern NBA? And I think Boozer will be better than Timme. But it's like defensively, are you going to be okay? Like there's a lot of questions, There's a lot of questions when we're talking about NBA basketball than just basketball in general that you have to answer, to.
Yeah, we've got the athleticism, I guess, like is really he's just not overwhelmingly athletic. But I would say with Boozer, his basketball IQ, I think just the way basketball, like we've seen, Jokic.
I can hear the comment section right now. Like, look at Jokic.
Yeah,
look at Jokic.
Exactly.
But Jokic is just different, bro. Like his processing is like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, are we seeing that out of Boozer? I'm not sure if we are seeing good passing. We are seeing he's got the jumper. So he is playing like he is a very, modern NBA big that's able to do it all. Could get better off the dribble, but he's already got shades there, and also you don't really know in college sometimes like what a guy can fully do because sometimes it's like you're just playing your role. But I really do like Boozer. I think he's gonna be awesome. I think because with Boozer, the fact that he was a sophomore and he was National Player of the Year, like it's a lot of times we're just like seeing these guys in college, right? And it's like we haven't seen them their whole high school careers where they were playing against like he's going up against AJ in camps, like he's going up against Darren Peterson in camps. We're not seeing Boozer dominate time and time again for 3+ years. It's like we're really just like getting introduced to them more in college. And I think the fact that Boozer came in, he was projected number 1, 2, or 3, and now he's going to be National Player of the Year. He's just been insane. I think he's been solid. I wouldn't take him ahead of AJ though, because
I wouldn't take him ahead of Darren.
Yeah.
Me personally.
What about Caleb Wilson? Do you think?
I think it's close between those two. Caleb Wilson, man, the next KG.
I don't know. This draft is nuts. I don't know what's.
Wait, this draft got the next Michael Jordan, the next KG. Maybe that's why they don't have AJ number 1. Yeah, T-Mac. Yeah,
but Boozer's got no comp. Like
his dad maybe.
Kevin McHale.
His dad.
Yeah,
his dad had a great mid. What? Yeah, his dad had a nice mid range. His dad was tough.
His
dad
was
tough. Yeah,
that was great. His dad.
Yeah.
I'm a Bulls fan, so
he was actually getting MVP buzz one year. Do you remember that?
Yeah, back in the Jazz days, and then he came to the Bulls, and it was like he came to the Bulls during the same free agency of LeBron, Dwayne Wade, all that, and it was like we got the world's biggest consolation prize, because also that was before Amari fell off too. So it was like we didn't get it. We really wanted Amari Stoudemire or Joe Johnson. Like we got like this 6th pick in the draft there of Carlos Boozer, but he was good. I think Carlos Boozer though was undersized. I think Cameron Boozer, should be like he's a bigger guy, and there's also something to be said about his ability to score, just seemingly just at will at times around the basket.
Yeah, I think some of these guys are going to score even easier in the NBA with the spacing. Like I look at AJ like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
but yeah, AJ.
Because sometimes he gets in like a pickle, but he just out athleticism. Like there's no spacing. Yeah,
there's no spacing. It's wild watching college basketball. Sometimes you're like, what is going on the court?
Right.
The NBA, it's the most spaced.
Yeah, it's a lot of. That's because of contrast, because of how spaced the NBA is. We're like, whoa, when we watch college, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so exactly. So the fact that AJ's scoring on drives to the basket like that also makes what Boozer's doing super impressive too, though, because he's scoring all around the basket. I think that they're both really great players. I think. Well, you know what's really interesting about the draft is that always like these guys get slotted in kind of, and then it's hard to shake. I'm not sure if it's because you don't want to take a risk and then lose your job, but it's like, yeah, a guy like Caleb Wilson, can he break into the top 3 even? Like, would that be possible? Because
I could see
20 and 10 and 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks, so he's doing it all. Like,
yeah, if I'm just thinking about like how does one's game translate in the NBA, I think I like Caleb better than Boozer. You know,
it's gonna be interesting. I mean, because I would think with okay, so I think Caleb Wilson, he's more of a sure thing in terms of
he's just a way better athlete, first of all, which gives you a higher ceiling often, right?
He's more of a sure thing in terms of he will be a good player for you. Like you will get a good player. Like good to great to you will get a star level plus player. Like I think Boozer, it seems like
lower floor, higher ceiling.
Yeah, maybe because it seems like it's either you're getting like a generational. I mean, that's the word's being thrown around way too often lately. A generational thing. We need like a word that's a little bit lower, but you're getting a star. I would say
it's actually not a bad way to look at it, because if there is one person that's generational here, it is AJ. You know, I keep going back to this, but that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. You know,
I love AJ. If he slips to 3, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Darren Peterson though. What's wild is so he checks himself out of that game, but then he had like 20 points at the half. It's like he played 17 minutes, had 20 points, checks himself out though. And so it's like I am just questioning.
You know what the issue is? No one's being transparent. That's the biggest issue. Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Will we know?
Yeah.
Keep it under wraps the entire time. Yeah, you don't want to take in this draft, you can't take that risk.
Right.
It's
right.
almost like I don't know if he would slip past 3, but if the season were to end today, I think the buzz would get too wild with it because it's so risky. Like you have AJ there, Boozer. I would say higher ceiling because if his game translates to the NBA in the way that you would hope, then he could be that 27 point per game big that is just dominating in the post, unstoppable. He's strong. He could score from anywhere. He's got a great touch. He's been proving it at multiple levels. I mean, you even look, not to throw shots at his brother, but if you look, like him and his brother came in. His brother was the number 18 guy or something, and his brother is averaging like 6 points per game. His game hasn't translated right away to college. Like Cameron Boozer has been that guy for a very long time, and we've kind of seen that with a Marvin Bagley type, right? Where it's like then it doesn't translate. So it comes down to Cam's work ethic, where like how much does he want it? But I think the basketball IQ is there. I think that's one of the biggest things to see is like Marvin Bagley was just scoring around the post, wasn't playmaking, wasn't doing it really off the dribble, didn't have a 3-point shot. Cameron Boozer already has all of those things to his game, so it feels good. I will definitely say that like the players we're getting suddenly out of college, maybe it's just this class, but they're so polished compared to what they used to be.
Yeah.
Like, we would get like a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, right? And it's like, oh, we hope he develops a jump shot, and he's a small forward. It's like now you would not possibly go top 10 if you did not have a 3-point shot as a small forward.
Well, yeah, I mean, the players are more well-rounded now. The weaknesses are way less glaring. You just have to be just a better all-around player, Yeah. Yeah, in the modern. But I want to talk to you about Cooper Flagg because you mentioned him. Where does his rookie season rank among the all-time greatest?
So, I think like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson had some of the greatest rookie seasons. Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, just in terms of incredible points per game. So Coop isn't having anything that we would consider historic in that way, but we have to consider his age because it's like Jordan he was a junior at UNC. Magic, they came out of college. Larry Bird, same thing. So Cooper is having one of the better rookie seasons we've seen from a guy at his age and in this post no high school player era of being drafted. I think he is having one of those. The most important thing is that he's improving as time goes along, but also he's showing that he can be the main guy on a team essentially right away. Like he's right off the bat, we're seeing these 30, 40-point games. It's not every night. It's been happening more recently. He's very comfortable with the ball in his hands. Had the Jason Kidd point guard experiment against Wemby, and like that first game against Wemby was as rough as possible. Like it was like we were watching. If you just only watched that one game, you'd be like, man, this guy might be an absolute bust. Like,
well, the crazy thing is that happened to Wemby in Summer League, first game in Summer League.
Mm-hmm.
And people like really like, oh, it's over. Like, it's
yeah. Well, Coop didn't score in the first half. I think he ended with 10 points, but it's like it was really bad. And Wemby had 40 or something, and it was just Wemby just was on full display in that game. I think right now Wemby's only real problem is consistency. He'll have those 40-point, 18 rebound, 7 block games where you're like, this is the best player on earth. And then
what do you if he stays healthy? What do you think Wemby's floor is? The GOAT?
Floor, yeah.
The GOAT?
Floors are the GOAT. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, his floor, like I guess top 20 of all time would be his floor, ceiling, the GOAT. Yeah, I mean. Especially because the Spurs already have been really savvy, put themselves in a position where they're going to be able to compete for a long time. So he's not like a DeMarcus Cousins where it's like you're putting up numbers and you've got no.
I wasn't expecting the DeMarcus Cousins name drop.
I love Bogey. I mean,
he's great player.
Never had help on the Kings. Never. They had Isaiah Thomas. And they
you know what's crazy with fans in general? They really kind of make basketball one-on-one and don't take into consideration how good the team is around that star player. Like Knicks fans to me, I've been telling them Cade's better than Brunson forever. They're like, well, wait and see till the playoffs. I'm like, there's a world where the Knicks will beat the Pistons. In no way in the world is Brunson better than Cade. I don't care, because Brunson has a way better supporting cast. You know, people don't take this into consideration, and it happens to players like DeMarcus Cousins and a lot of others who probably aren't going to be ranked all time because they just never had the supporting cast. Chris Webber's another guy. There's a lot of guys, you know.
A lot of guys, like even like Anthony Davis when he was with the Pelicans, he was putting up 28 points, 12 rebounds.
Well, good thing for him, he got to play with LeBron and win one.
LeBron, you got the one, and you got the ring.
Asterisk or no?
I'll say no.
I'll say
no. I mean, because they were all playing under the same conditions.
Right.
However, it is weird. It is weird.
It's different. You got to say it's different.
Looking back at that, it's like watching like a movie. You're like,
bro, the crowd was on a Zoom screen.
It's crazy. It's literally crazy. Like watching it back, you're like, how are we? Like, please, I hope this never happens again in our life. But
yeah.
Crowd was on a Zoom screen. We couldn't leave our house.
But actually, it was great entertainment.
It was
entertainment. Yeah, like Luka. I remember Luka going off versus the Clippers. Then you had Bubble Murray going off, Bubble TJ Warren.
But the crowd, no crowd made it so weird. Like Luka hit that. He hit the game winner, and it just was like nothing. It's just like it was a pickup game.
It was. I heard it was even more weird for the people watching in the building.
Oh,
like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like.
I went to one Boston Celtics game.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought you went to one bubble game. I'll be like, that's lit.
That
would have
been so sick. I went to a Celtics game post, like, it was when they were reintroducing everyone back, but it was like 1/3 capacity was allowed.
Wow, yeah.
And so it was like you weren't allowed to sit next to anyone other than like people that you bought tickets with. And that was really weird. It was like silent in there. Like,
yeah.
It was actually Celtics versus Knicks, which I was kind of mad at because I was in Boston for just like a few days, and I'm just like, they're really just playing the Knicks, who I have seen multiple times throughout my life already. But
yeah, I want to see Knicks Spurs this year. That's the finals matchup I want to see. Knicks Spurs. I think it'd be box office.
Oh, that would. I mean, it would be great. How do you feel about? I mean, the Thunder have become just the villains of the NBA.
Well, I feel like everything changed when the Spurs beat them 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, I think it went to everybody believing the field would win over OKC when that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, they were untouchable, and then, they were just cooking, untouchable. Weirdly, Jalen Williams, that was before he was playing. And so then he comes, and then it's like, why is this suddenly not working as well? And then also, I mean, you do have to wonder in that specific matchup if Wemby is just like all in Chet's head at this point.
And he was on minutes restriction for the cup game, you know?
But Wemby has targeted Chet as...
Yeah, you did a video on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Appreciate you. Appreciate watching.
Yeah, man, come on, man. I'm tuned in, man.
My man.
I watch all the good stuff.
Appreciate that. Yeah, so Wemby versus Chet. I mean, there was the report that Wemby was very angry that Chet has a ring. Chet with his ring, I think it's gotten a little underappreciated.
100%. Well, I mean,
when reps it though, like he's like sitting next to Paolo, in a commercial, and he's like, I forget what he's been calling himself, but he has a nickname for himself, even with like he's like Championship Chet sitting down, like
because that's what he could hang his hat on over Wemby, you know. But I think Chet doesn't get enough credit, and we might be looking at him as the unicorn if it wasn't for Wemby, you know.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, so
I agree. I mean, the defensive stats are there.
He's great. I was always a Chet over Paulo guy since the draft. Me personally, I used to argue with people about this.
Yeah, I agree. And then he had a freak injury too. It was a season injury, so. Which though is cool because then it created the Wemby versus Chet rivalry even more for us. Though it actually ended up being a little bit beneficial for the NBA. But yeah, I mean, Chet is the perfect modern big man that you'd want. You could put him on any single team. He'd be helping you at a high level.
100%.
And we saw him in the finals. He performed. He was ready for the moment. So
what do you think? I wonder how Chet would look on like a rebuilding team. I think like if he was on the Hornets, he might average 25, 26. You know, you get a few more jump shots up, you know, run the floor, LaMelo throwing lobs to him. I think he could actually put up some nice numbers on like a worse team, but obviously he's a champion, which is even better. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think his upside's there. I think especially like we've talked about with the systems that you're in, it's just like whatever you're playing with is going to dictate a lot. So when you're playing with Shea and he's taking so many shots, and then you got Jalen, and you got just all of the shooters around and everyone, it's like that's not his role. Hardenstein even gets a good amount of touches, so it's like it's not Chet's role. Chet just plays within himself, plays winning basketball. I think that's one of the biggest pluses of Chet's game, though, is that he's always been playing winning basketball.
Yes,
and
yes.
he went to Gonzaga, too, which was, I thought, really cool because, I mean, they didn't end up winning the championship, but he was supposed to be like potentially missing piece there. Fortunate loss for them, but
Him and Timmy were a fun combo.
Yeah, exactly. But so with Timmy there, and it was like, that means that you're not going to go in and be the guy that's averaging like 25 a game. And it shows a lot about his personality because when you're making that college choice, it's like, okay, you could make the choice of like Michael Beasley, like back in the day, like Kansas State,
Shouts to Michael Beasley. Beasley actually might be more famous than 80% of NBA players right now.
He's just going on
vibes. Yo, did you see the clip where like when I'm sad, I'm in the gym. When I'm mad, I'm in the gym. When I'm happy, I'm in the gym. That's how I feel, bro. Shouts to Michael Beasley, man.
Why wasn't he in the gym during his career?
I think he was. Yeah. You know what's great? Like people that have coached him that I know, like they love him. Everybody loves Michael Beasley. Like I don't know I don't know why. I guess it's a system thing. Like where does Michael Beasley fit in an NBA system? I think that's really it more than like the work ethic thing, Could
have been the system though. Like, you know what I mean?
That's another topic.
That upper end talent and we're watching him now just destroy Lance Stevenson in one-on-one. Just be like, I'm just like
that guy is so strong and skillful. It's nasty. Yeah.
It's more like I guess maybe the basketball IQ wasn't there, like because
it could be some of that.
The game, like scoring, is insane.
Yeah, he's a bucket. He's a bucket. Yeah, he's a bucket.
Like, how did he never average 25 plus a game in the league? It's very confusing. You know what else I think? I think he's a guy who he's doing really well right now, but I think like his mental, like I think he's battled some demons in his life, and so I think like it's not just always
for
him as just getting up and just going to work and just being the best version of himself in that way. I think it's like been harder. I think he's probably been like had Dennis Rodman vibes. What I get out of his mentality, where it's like he's had his head is just like it's harder for him. So, and I've post this current era of Michael Beasley where he's made a great comeback and people are loving him again. Like he did have a few years where I remember he was talking and he had this mentor that was talking for him about like being his best self and everything. It was a little like I don't want to say it felt cult. It did feel a little weirdly cultish, like he was like talking to a cult leader, but it was more just like he had this like more like older male presence in his life that was helping him be the best version of himself. This
reminds me of like wrestling or something, where some like dark storyline, dark storyline with a manager that talks for you or something. If
I pulled up the interview, you would understand what I meant immediately. You'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this was wholesome in what they're saying, but a little weird in that like Michael Beasley has like a guy that he seemingly is relying on to like as a mentor randomly here." But
yeah,
I guess it's all worked. Michael Beasley is a huge underrated what if of what could have been if he had I guess a different mindset, because at Kansas State he was nuts, and that was following Kevin Durant too. It was like Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley, and it was like, are we about to see this like generational? I can't just get generational out of here. Are we about to see this
great player
all-time scoring battle between Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley? And instead he got traded after his rookie season, and that kind of maybe ruined him right away.
What's the definition of a generational player, since we throw it around too much these days?
We are throwing away too much, because generational should be like you are once in a generation. That should be technically going through. It should be Bill Russell / Wilt, Kareem.
Well, Michael Jordan, Steph, right?
Yeah. So even
LeBron,
even already,
Wemby.
yeah, exactly. That's what. So I was going all the way back. So I was going. Bill
So what's the hard cutoff though? Like, who's the guy that's right there but's not generational? KD? He got to be generational, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how many guys do we do? I mean, like, or do we allow 3 generational? Because
I guess like the guys like who are right under there but aren't there are like kind of like a James Harden, like a Russell Westbrook, right?
yeah,
That's probably like the
I actually
line.
saw a lot of people have Kawhi as the 4th guy of this, which I
Nah.
think there's an interesting conversation in terms of because the injuries
Nah.
really ruined him recently.
I also think generational should mean you were undeniable from the beginning. Like when I think of Michael Jordan actually wasn't, so that's interesting, right?
Well, Jordan was just getting underrated. Like
right. Like a lot of the generational players don't. Like Wemby wasn't underrated. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't underrated. Wilt wasn't underrated. LeBron wasn't underrated. You know.
Michael Jordan, I think, was also though just pure nonsense. Like it was just back in the day where I guess they weren't like the scouting. I don't know what they were doing, but he led the gold medal team to the
84 was crazy. Yeah, 84. Yeah.
So I mean, huge. I guess Michael Jordan. Fun fact: if we think about it, he was the last college player to win a gold medal, and then he was then on the dream team that won it right after. So he was the last guy, and then there's the gap and him. But back then, Bob Knight was basically saying he could walk on water. Like Bob Knight is one of the most respected Hall of Fame coaches of all time, and he's like calling the Portland Trailblazers general manager, who I remember his name, Stu Inman, because I remember the story so well. He's calling him, and he's like, "You gotta draft Michael Jordan. This is insane. You have to draft him." And then infamously, Stu Inman was like, "Oh, we're looking at a big man. We're looking at Bowie." And then Bob Knight screamed into the phone, "Then play Jordan at center." You know, it was like Michael Jordan was doing things like dropping 30 in the Olympics, coming into halftime and being like, "Coach, you don't have to say a word," to Bob Knight. Like, it was like he transcended Bob Knight, which, I mean, a lot of people won't know how insane Bob Knight was, but Bob Knight was like, just
YouTube chair and Bobby Knight. You'll figure it out.
I mean, you know what's funny about that? I actually randomly saw that recently. I think it popped up, and it was like that happened 4 minutes into the game. Like that throwing the chair, like I always thought it was like this terrible call at the end of the game that ruined the game, and he just throws a chair across the court 4 minutes into the game because he's mad. It's like, okay, man. I mean, that was bad. That whole moment is just so awkward. He throws the chair, and then everyone just like doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, how about the fact he like choked out a student though? Like he actually physically choked out a student who was mad at him. I mean, yelling at him.
And he just kept his job through it all.
He's 6'4", so it's not like
yeah.
Bob Knight choking out someone is some small thing. Like Bob Knight is a huge man choking out a teenager.
Yeah. How do you think Michael Jordan's game would translate to the modern NBA?
I think incredibly well. I mean, I think we're talking 35 to 40 points a game. I have Michael Jordan as the GOAT. I think that when we look at past eras, we need to consider the fact that these guys weren't training to shoot the three-pointer. So you look at Larry Bird. He's never was putting up 12 threes a game, even though he had the ability to, because that's just not the way basketball was played back then. That's not the way they were coached. Very simple. Like if you're doing something that, you know, your coach is like, "Hey, chill, stop doing that." You know, you back then, especially too, they actually did what their coaches wanted them to do. So Jordan, back then, you lived by the mid-range. He has one of the best mid-range games of all time. Also, we do have to factor in the no hand check rule, the no physical defense. We're talking before about college basketball, how it's like the spacing is, you can just notice it. Go watch a game from back in the 80s and 90s. It's like the spacing is the exact same thing. You've got two guys in the post clogging up everything. No one can shoot, so you're dribbling the ball. Like Michael Jordan, it's not just his own spacing. It's not just like, okay, you can hold on to him, physically hold on to him. Hand check rule, super underrated. Like you're able to use your hand to guide him, right? But not only that, he breaks free to the rim. you have two guys that are about to elbow you in the neck if you actually go, right? And there's not even going to be a flagrant foul called. On top of that, you have no one who can shoot around you. You have like every now and then the Steve Kerr. You have like one Steve Kerr on the court as everyone else is unable to shoot. So the spacing is not there, and he's still averaging 35 points per game. Like, yeah, he'd be insane. Right now, he'd be. I don't think we could comprehend how good he'd be. I mean, it would. I would think his game would probably be more well-rounded, but in this current era, I don't think averaging 40 a game would be nuts. We've seen the guys averaging, around 35 at this point.
Well, he averaged 37 one year, right?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just aged, and it's just, I mean.
Him versus the Celtics, like what he was doing in traffic, it was so clogged. Like he was scoring against his own team and hanging in those were tough shots.
Over your own big men, like your own big men are contesting your shots basically. Like you have no space ever. Like,
and forget about spot up threes. Like John Paxson was spotting up from mid range.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Spotting up from 15 feet. You're like it's insane. And again, yeah, and every team is playing two big men. So you're going up against two like traditional big men down there in the post to score over on the left and the right. So it's like it's not like you're driving to the right now modern NBA. You come down. Where's the center planted? Oh, he's on the left side. You can strategically now attack the right, so you're not directly attacking the center. There's two guys planted there, and yeah, and your escape hatch pass is to a 15-footer that doesn't even make sense. That you also, Michael Jordan wasn't trusting everyone as well. But yeah, I mean, we saw his scoring efficiency too. It's not like we're looking at the 60s or the 70s and we're looking at a guy shooting 40-something%. It's not like Bob Cousy, who legitimately shot 40%. Or Isaiah Thomas, who also shot, he wasn't as efficient. Michael Jordan, his analytics for that era are insane because when you consider the fact that they weren't looking at analytics, they weren't perfecting the game. The scouting report was this guy likes to go left, so force him left. It wasn't But it wasn't LeBron comes down the court in ISO situations. When he calls for a pick and roll on the right side, he then rejects the screen 37% of the time. And then dribbles with his left hand, one move to the basket. That's how advanced these scouting reports are now. Michael Jordan would have taken advantage of everything, too. We know that he is the GOAT competitor and that he was always willing to improve his game. So, I mean, I think we'd just be, watching this insane... Because I think he would get the three-point shot, too. I know that's not a guaranteed.
I mean, he hit six of them and a half against Portland. Remember that?
Did the shrug, sorry,
yeah.
Clyde.
I mean, look, shouts to the generation that didn't get to see Michael Jordan play, live, not to age myself too much. But how do you feel about the videos that are they show a modern NBA player and they do a crazy move or something, or they get a reverse in or they switch hands and then they say NBA players are doing what Michael Jordan did every play.
They would have called this the shot that stopped time.
Yeah. How do you feel about when you see that? Because you can't just really isolate highlights and then talk about who's the better player, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just what ends up happening. I mean, what is hard about basketball, to be fair, is that it's so different. We're watching a game where it's suddenly everyone is shooting threes, the space, everyone is analytically sound. You cannot win unless you are following specific principles. So, yeah. I mean, it makes the conversations weird because then you take the 72-win Bulls and you're like, well, how would they fare in the modern era when they can't shoot? And it's okay, realistically, they'd have a very difficult time. But I think Michael Jordan's 100% getting disrespected. People don't understand. They just don't. They're not getting it. They don't take into account. They're only going played against plumbers, this, that. It's here's other things.
Well, the plumber generation keeps coming closer and closer this way.
Yeah. Like at first it was the 60s.
What now? Like the 2010s are going to be
like
plumbers soon.
Allen Iverson's going to be called a plumber soon. Yeah, but also like we could do the reverse argument. The reverse argument would be these guys were actually playing for a paycheck. Like there wasn't any guy that was getting paid $20 million, averaging 12 points a game as a role player. You know. So
well, with the lifestyle of some NBA players now, they might still be playing for a paycheck. Believe it. I mean, shouts to Floyd. He's about to come back to boxing. I don't know what his financial situation is, but I mean, he's coming back to boxing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It's tough. It's tough when
they
scale their lives up. You know.
Yeah.
Shout out Allen Iverson for realizing that in himself, and then like he stashed away a few million or whatever for when he gets it when he's 50.
Also, that's awesome. Yeah, shouts to AI. I think he was saying that he's sober now too, which is good. Good for congrats to him. Congrats to AI.
Shout out to Allen Iverson.
100%.
But yeah, I think though if you did the reverse, it's like you have players that are playing for their paycheck right then and there. These guys are playing all 82 games. We're not having any of this modern like you were the guy since middle school. And everyone loved you. Like you were grinding to get here, and now you're like you have to be competitively locked in every single game, or you're going to not get a contract, or you're not going to be playing. So there's a whole different mentality that was going on back then. Are the guys more skilled now? Absolutely.
More skilled, more athletic, but the feel for the game is probably down a little bit. That's not what I always say.
Yeah, and like again, like the competitiveness, like I would.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think just on a day-to-day basis, night-to-night basis, like there was no taking any games off.
Is Michael Jordan more athletic than Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, I think Jordan, his vertical leap was measured like 44 plus inches.
And I think his first step might have been even quicker than Ant's too.
Yeah.
His first step was crazy.
It is just hard to tell because like we're not watching Michael Jordan run down the court in this spaced out era. We're watching him like it's like back then it's like a hockey game. Like you're dribbling into the court, and like if you're watching a normal game, not just highlights, like you are watching someone bail down the court and like be running into like 4 different bodies at once and like finishing over like multiple guys.
Yeah, but because of the evolution of the game, Anthony Edwards might be more skillful when it comes to options as an offensive player. But that's like the evolution of basketball, you know?
Yeah, that's where the question gets like where it's like, okay, if you were to take Michael Jordan in a time machine and just drop him in the game now and he couldn't shoot like he could and people are just like going way back on him, then yeah, it's going to be more difficult. You know, he'll find a way to make it work how he can, but then you have Anthony Edwards who has the athleticism, who's averaging 30 points per game in the modern NBA and, you know, is able to shoot around, you know, high levels for 3 on an extremely high volume. It's like, yeah, if you put Anthony Edwards right now in that, like in the 90s, I would think Anthony Edwards is scoring 35 plus because I think a lot of guys would be. What would happen if you put Peyton Pritchard in the 90s? Like, and he's just cash from 3. Like he would be Steph Curry. Like no one would know what to do though. Like you'd have a guy who would be capable of making 8 threes a game.
Well, he also just has the information that it's good to shoot more threes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah.
But also he's practiced to the point where he's making like 40+%.
Well, shouts to my guy who I do a regular podcast with, Dana Barros. I mean, he was shooting 40% on like 6 threes a game back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's.
And if he was playing, if he was playing now, he'd probably shoot 15 of them. You know, and average, who knows, 25, 30, who knows?
And then he gets paid so much more.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for those guys.
Yeah, 100%. Top 3 NBA players of all time.
Jordan, LeBron, 1, 2. I mean, I guess like the default is just Kareem.
Better than Larry Bird?
So here's my thing with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson is that when you have, I think Kareem, I mean, it's tough. It is tough. You know what I'll say? Because a lot of Kareem's dominance came pre-merger, right? So that gets underrated. Like his MVPs and a lot, like the titles, like we have like, you know, those Bucks days. It was like
More plumbers pre-merger, more plumbers.
But yeah, when the merger happened, I was surprised to find this out. When the merger happened, the very first NBA All-Star game post-merger, half of the players were from the ABA. So the ABA had half of the NBA All-Stars playing in their league. So that is not something small to say. Like imagine right now you took away half of the All-Star talent out of the league and like half.
That reminds me of like the NWO with WWE, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of makes Kareem's case a little lesser. I mean, I think Larry Bird. Here's the thing with Larry and Magic, though. I think either of them had the chance. I believe when Magic retired, I believe the public perception was he may have been the best guy ever before Jordan. But like I think it was still like Wilt was still close enough where it's like he was mythical. And
well, the numbers when you average 50, I mean that's mythical. It's mystique.
That's generational.
That's generational.
Yeah,
legit.
That's actually generational. Yeah, I mean among his peers when they did.
And then not to cut you off, and he led the league in assists one year just because he felt like it. Wilt.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, that was nuts. That was that goes both ways. I'm like, I grew up reading Bill Simmons, and so my perception on that stat is all warped because Bill Simmons is, of course,
he's definitely a Will Chamberlain. Yeah, he's definitely a Will Chamberlain hater.
He's such a Will Chamberlain hater. So he would be but I would love to see the tapes because he said that Wilt was purposely. Like had a wide open layup and would just turn around and pass to his teammate for a jump shot because he wanted the assist instead.
But that also shows how great you are.
It's pretty. If he was costing his team wins, then that's insane. But that would be hilarious. Like imagine we're watching right now a guy he's wide open for layup and he's trying to lead the league in assists and instead just dishing it off.
I think there's probably more examples of that we even know. Like some of the assist guys. They just want to
with the gambling era.
But yeah, that's a whole other topic for another day.
Yeah.
What's the biggest what if in NBA history?
Final answer in the three. I guess.
Well, I thought you said Kareem. I think you know what? I used to have that 3 too, but now I'm thinking like Larry Bird could initiate
Apex. Like, how are we talking about this?
That's what makes it fun, you know.
That is Apex is what makes it more fun. Like,
well, Larry Bird's peak was top 3 to me.
Yeah, he won 3 MVPs in a row. I mean, there's certainly a case Larry Bird's number 3 overall. I mean, a lot of people would be angry at that.
So my 3 is Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Larry Bird.
I won't argue with it. I think the third spot is the one that's just completely up for grabs. And like Kareem's kind of a cop-out answer. It's not a fun answer. I'm jumping on Larry Bird with you. Let's go. Let's just Larry Bird. Also, Larry's been getting love lately. We're talking about the Michael Jordan, like the moment that stopped time shot. I've been seeing a lot of Larry Bird highlights with him just doing some crazy dunks and everything. And
you did a trash talk video. Like his trash talk was legendary. Yeah.
He was. We need a guy like that. We need trash talk stories like that.
Yeah.
The infamous. On Christmas Day, Chuck Person, when he goes before the game, "Hey Chuck, I've got a present for you," and then in the middle of the game, shoots a 3 right in Chuck Person's face, drains it, and he goes, "Merry effing Christmas." It's like amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he used to call out what he would do and do it.
The entire game left-handed.
Yeah, he dropped 27 that game.
You just played a game left-handed. Imagine being that good that you're just like, I'm just gonna play this game left-handed.
We solidified it here. Larry Bird's the 3rd greatest player in NBA history. There you go.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, I think people would actually be shocked if they looked at the numbers because.
Well, he was close to like 30, 10, and 10 at one point, right? He was pretty close.
He was putting up incredible stats, but also he had 3 MVPs in a row, right? Won like all the championships as the guy. If we take like Magic had Kareem on his team. Yeah, we had McHale, we had Parrish, we certainly had Hall of Famers, but Larry Bird was also certainly the guy. Magic more became the guy, even though he did win Finals MVP. his first season, he more became the guy in the second half of the 80s in those in the back-to-back championships they had then. But that was when Larry suddenly his back just gave out on him because of the most wholesome reason, because of laying concrete for his grandmother's driveway. It's like, I mean,
what a guy! What a guy!
Like, for his grandma.
Well, he was doing sanitation before he transferred colleges. Did you know about that? Yeah.
Yeah, he gave up basketball. He went because he was supposed to play for Bob Knight. So he
hated it there. He hated it there.
Yeah, he hated it there because he just was so
Larry Bird's career could have ended right there. He could have just kept doing sanitation.
Yeah, in fact, he wanted it to end. He was not the one. Like, everyone else was like, Larry Bird, you need to go play basketball. This is insane.
He's like Jokic. Like, he'd rather just go take out the garbage. And it's like his horses,
Maybe he just wanted to be a farmer or something. Yeah.
He probably did.
And they were just like, nah, you've got to go drop 30 on Magic Johnson's head.
Why do you think Kobe's ranking is so polarizing?
I don't know. People, that's it. Everything always comes in waves. It's like
yes.
So at first it's like, okay, Kobe, we love him, and then it's like then he starts to get backlash. Then he passes away, so then the love becomes tremendously high, and now we're just in the reverse wave of like, okay, like now let's nitpick him. But end of the day, I mean,
analytics community is definitely they're doing their nitpicking.
They don't love him, but like, it's the same thing as baseball, where until analytics were such a part of the game, it's really hard to judge on that. Like people just throw that out of the window as if it's like analytics back then weren't great. That's why Jokic right now is setting the record for PER every season. It's like we know what optimal basketball is now. It's like the movie Moneyball with baseball, but being played out in real life. And so Kobe, at the end of the day, though, won championships. It's weird. You get a Kawhi, you get him, and it's like, oh, he won a championship. So some people will rank him, ahead of James Harden, and they'll discount James Harden's 30-point-per-game seasons because they'll be like, what, Kawhi was the guy that won a championship, and he won 2 Finals MVPs. And so it's and I actually think Kawhi. Side note.
That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. James Harden or Kawhi? That's a tough question. Yeah.
I think in 10 years, I think the answer will be undoubtedly Kawhi. Now I'm not saying that's my answer.
Unless the Cavs win this year.
That's true, yeah. Or next year when LeBron goes there.
True.
But I think Kawhi's career is in a weird place where when he retires, it will age and people will appreciate him more. It's just like right now he's just been injured. He was the face of sitting out of games, but we'll suddenly remember oh yeah, he was 2014 Finals MVP. Oh yeah, he did finish second in MVP voting at least twice. He was 2019 Finals MVP leading Toronto. That matters a lot. So yeah, with Kobe, I don't know why that gets discounted because you have Kobe. He has 2 separate eras where he was. It's not like with Shaq. Like the first season with Shaq, yeah, he averaged I think 21. It's like the next season he was averaging 27 a game. So
yeah,
young Kobe was phenomenal playing with Shaq. Shaq doesn't win those. It's not like Shaq carried this team. They absolutely needed.
Well, it was always debate who was the best player on those teams, right? It was always a debate. Yeah.
And then Kobe though goes on to have the better post career over Shaq.
Well, that was a lot to do with the work ethic, right? Like taking care of himself. Yeah.
But also, let's think of those Lakers teams. They were not overpowered. Like Pau Gasol is a solid all-star level guy for sure. Andrew Bynum was good. Like he was a good player.
Lamar Odom, great role player.
Like Lamar Odom, 6 Man of the Year candidate. Like they had a good core. They were not the current Thunder. They were not like this team that had this incredible cast around them. You could certainly argue the Celtics with multiple Hall of Famers had possibly even a better team, and then Kobe was just the clearly defining generational player of that era with him and Tim Duncan. It's like him and Tim Duncan in the 2010s. But yeah, I mean, and I would say the same thing with Duncan. It's like, okay, Tony Parker and Manu are incredible players, but they also were not like a
Manu might average like 27 if you give him the keys in this era.
Manu Ginobili, if he wasn't playing six man and everything, I mean,
And today, like with the way they play, with the information he would have, like he was tough, man.
He was filthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's led Argentina to a gold medal.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
Shouts to House of Highlights. I was like, that's James Harden with a killer instinct or with a clutch gene.
Yeah, man. Man was filthy. Man was filthy. But
yeah.
Why does Kobe get hate? I guess just because it comes in waves. I don't know. And like
Yeah.
the analytics community, they look at the negatives of him. But
man, I've been shouts to my guy Coach Nick. He's killing me with like the Cade stuff because he's like he cannot be an MVP if his at the rim finishing is not good. I'm like, how about the results, Coach Nick? How about the results? Like he's the best player on the best team, and he's doing it with less of a supporting cast. You know, like that's my thing. Like analytics, awesome, but we have to just kind of like look at what's going on too. We don't want to hyper focus on anything.
It's like, what's the most important stat? It's win. Like I won.
And then also doing it with it like his second best guy. Jalen Durant got a lot better, but last year was like Malik Beasley the way he was. You know what I mean? It's like Jalen Brunson has Mikal, OG, Cat. Like Kate doesn't have that, and he's just doing more. You know?
Yeah, and they also didn't have any winners. Like he created a winning culture himself, that's like a true superstar. Love Kate.
Yeah.
They got Tobias Harris over there.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. Last thing, what's the biggest what if in NBA history?
Biggest what if? I think so. Okay. Okay. What did I answer? I'm gonna change it. Okay. Biggest what if in NBA history? I'm gonna throw a curveball here. What if Derrick Rose never got injured? What if he was healthy for his entire career? There's never been a player. So we had a Greg Oden, right? Where we're like, okay, he could be generational, but he could be the big man of a generation, the all-time big man. But we never saw it in action for a long time. We saw a guy like Brandon Roy play at an all-star level, be very good, and never quite get there. We saw Tracy McGrady. His back gave out on him towards the end of his career. Not towards the end, but towards his second half of his 20s. So, like, his career wasn't extended. But we did get to see prime T-Mac. We did get to see what he was doing. T-Mac might be a secondary guy here. Derrick Rose, to have a guy win MVP in the third season of his career and then just suddenly go down with injuries and never be the same player again. He was undoubtedly better than Russell Westbrook. Like, it wasn't a conversation. There was no conversation. If you picked 100 fans at the time, it would be 100 people would have chose Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose led the Bulls points per game, assists per game. He was on a Chicago team known as a defensive, menace. Derrick Rose was the offensive guy that got them the number one seed in the East over the Miami Heat with LeBron and Wade. I mean, we're talking about taking the guy that could have been the better version of Russell Westbrook, the winning version of Russell Westbrook. Don't want shots at Russ right now, but we have a proven winner. We have a proven MVP winner whose career is just zapped from us. So it just gives us all of these different, like, what could have been. Because if Derrick Rose was averaging, 32 a game, at his peak, like 32 and 8, if he's battling against LeBron, if he's battling against Steph when Steph emerges, it really is a what could we have possibly seen, because we see Russ still producing at this age. So it's not like we had to have a guy whose game was built on athleticism not be able to still be athletic for a very long time. Like, it could have happened. It just was very unfortunate that he suffered that injury. And what we also saw was his work ethic was relentless. Like, he worked to get back on the court 3 separate times. I mean, the willpower after you go down with that kind of injury for the third time to be like, okay, I'm actually going to go through all the physical therapy and do all this to get back on the court again, shows us that insane mental fortitude. And it's just like, he was different. in the NBA, when you're considered a different type of athlete, I mean, and you watch the videos, you watch the "I'm Coming Home" Chicago mixtape. Why can't I be MVP? I'll say Derrick Rose.
I like it, yeah. I mean, and also, like, he showed flashes even after the comebacks. Like, Minnesota dropping 50, everybody was really happy for him because of that, because they saw the...
Did you hear Jeff Teague tell that story?
No, I got to go back, because his story...
Just watch the clip. It is... Jeff Teague is so funny, but it's just like, he's talking about they all were crying. He's like, we all were crying on the bench. He's like, for some reason, we're all crying.
That shows the love that guy gets.
Derrick Rose, yeah, he's just like, he's a player's champ. You know, everyone loves him for a reason, though. It was you get that kind of just respect, where it's just he was a silent killer. It was, you couldn't shake him. He just was out on the court. He wasn't talking. He just was just, and they used to call it I think it was called the Rose flu, where it was
I think did Gilbert talk about that? Somebody talked about that. Yeah,
where it was, Derrick Rose. I gotta play Derrick Rose. I'm out.
Are you hearing like the Rashad McCann stuff, where it's like been 3 pre-draft workouts or 3 workouts where he all of a sudden was sick or hurt after he was about to match up with somebody 1-on-1 or 2-on-2?
Who Rashad was?
Rashad McCann's, yeah, like all of a sudden he would get sick or hurt after before every like workout.
Rashad McCann's, I mean, has his revisionist history of his own.
Well, he knows what he got to be rage baiting, right? He knows what he's doing.
I see, like, maybe,
or that's just him, or he's just natural rage bait. He really believes everything he's saying.
Well, because like to get to that level, you have to have a certain confidence in yourself. So, is he rage baiting? Because they're like, Gilbert also is like throwing himself like softballs. So he's like, who's the best player like out of all of us? And it's like Gilbert's averaging 30 points per game in the real NBA. Brandon Jennings is like, in high school I would have cooked you all. And it's like, all right.
And Rashad definitely thinks he's the best player out of all of them, right?
Rashad goes, yeah, but I had the Sports Illustrated cover. It's like, I don't know if this is and did Gilbert not get one after his whole incident? Maybe?
Hey, they know what they're doing when it comes to content, though. Like they got a content machine over there. Yeah.
They got a great crew.
Yeah. Sure. Mike, thanks for taking the time. Where can we find you? What's the next video on? Can you give us a sneak peek?
My YouTube channel, just Mike Korzemba.
Yo, you've been doing this a long time, bro.
Insanely long time.
How long have you been YouTubing?
It's like 9-10 years.
Yeah. How has it changed? Like, how have you evolved, and what do you think is different now than when you first started? You know, what would be your like advice to basketball YouTubers?
My advice would be try to stand out and be different, because it's all the content is so. Right now, you're battling against so many people just to get eyeballs. If we look at what's that, Lethal Shooter, where he's like, now I understand, or now I get it, whatever he said.
Yeah, I understand it now.
I understand it now. Sorry, Lethal Shooter. But so like we get that, like there were so many guys that were doing those kind of trick shot type things, and then he did that, and it's like, okay, like he has a thing that is working for him. I mean, obviously it's hard to think of something like that, but you really got to find a way to differentiate yourself right now if you're starting out, because it's so difficult. I mean, there's so many guys that are already doing it. When I started, I was the first guy doing it. No one was making NBA storytelling videos. No one was making NBA commentary. It was the only person that was doing anything similar was Chris Smoove, who would react to games, but it's not the same. So it's like he was
mostly a voice, right? Like he would talk over the game highlights. Yeah.
Chris Smoove, an absolute OG. You know, paved the way for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just absurdly different. I mean, there was no competition back then. Like, and I didn't have to. The biggest thing is I didn't have to think about content. Like now, it's like thinking about an idea is harder than executing the idea by far. Like the idea of the video is much more difficult than because it's like, well, what's going to get eyeballs? What like is an actual interesting take? I would say, yeah, providing though value, that trying to find a space and providing value that no one else is providing, which like an example would be my what ifs. Like I did that no one else had seen a video like that. And that's what's coming up next. That's what we're currently working on. What if, it's going to be what if Luka Doncic was drafted #1 overall. So
That's dope.
It's a fun one. I'm really excited to bring it back. But yeah, I mean, I myself am pushing to like want to reach a new peak. So I've got a new second channel type vibe coming in the works as well that I think will be fun. So got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you got to differentiate yourself. And also, super important in this era, if you were starting to just be big, to really be taking advantage of shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels, it's like you can't not.
So how does that kind of connect to what you do in long form? Because I feel like it's so different. Because I go viral on short form, but it's it's different with long form.
Mm-hmm. So I would say if you want the long form, like, so what you would want would be to have your face being shown, which that's way harder for me than just storytelling.
That's easy for me, Mike.
Like,
easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very happy for you. I'm like cursed with this. No, I'm just kidding.
Rashad McKen's type confidence over here. Let's go though.
No, okay, I low-key do have that confidence too, but I mean, just mean in terms of like, I have like shorts where I haven't had my face in them. I have 20.
I think that is important. Yeah, I think that is important.
And so like, I was talking at House Highlights to Isaac, and he was like he's like, that's basically like no value in terms of like, because like you are, and it sounds like, I guess, kind of lame to say, but you are trying to build a personal brand. Like you're trying to build like a
yes,
way, like, for people to want to hear your opinion, regardless of whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Yeah, it's like connecting your face to everything. But I would say if you are trying to make the long form like adjustment as well, I think you want to have someone watch your short form content and to walk away being like, oh, I want to watch more of that, like in a longer setting.
Is that, but probably the most important thing is just making great videos, and they'll discover you on YouTube even more than connecting shorts or short form, right? Because like if you make a great produced video, which you do, it'll be discovered, right?
Yeah, but like I've legit had 20 million view shorts that have not translated to any main form. Like,
that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so, it's almost like its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that has to do though. Like I think people that are experts at this are like they will draw you in with like, okay, like let's say AJ Dybantsa. It'll be like, is AJ Dybantsa really worth the number one pick? And they'll give you great information where you walk away and you're like, that short, like, wow, that was awesome. But they then like hit with that, like, watch the full video on my YouTube channel.
And what do they put it in text at the end of the video, or like they?
Like, or even like verbally say it. But they do it so quickly, and then you could link, like on YouTube, you could link the video right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it just says related video, and
yeah.
And so, as long as you provide enough of high quality content, like 58 seconds, and then like the last 3 seconds are like watch the full video here. Like, I mean, you kind of have to put yourself in the viewer role at times, and like you're at that point, it's like multiple times I have watched a short and someone has said that, and I've been like, oh, I do want to watch this entire video.
Right.
Or if I don't want to watch the video, I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, sorry, I don't want to watch it. But it's also like you don't want to do it in the middle. You want to do it like right at the end, because like you want someone to be happy with what you created, and also like they can't swipe away at that point. Like,
you mean you think the middle is better than the end, or the
middle is worse? Middle is worse. You don't want to.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You want to.
You don't want there's a point. Yeah, you don't want a point where somebody will swipe away if they're interested in something. Yeah.
Yeah, but like putting your face on the screen right away is good. I'm still experimenting with all those, so hopefully next time we talk, I am able to.
Well, I see on the YouTube videos, I mean, it's more of your face on the screen with the projections in the back, and you've been doing more of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But also, even right there, interestingly, I noticed on my analytics that if I introduce my face 1 minute in, because like on YouTube, specifically the first like 5 seconds, 30 seconds, and 1 minute all get graded very like highly. So if you at any point in those times lose a bunch of viewers, YouTube will not recommend your video as much. Like they view overall view duration is very important as well, but they also don't want like a giant spike down because from there, I guess the way the algorithm's built, it that would be perceived as you're misleading viewers. Like you're like, because okay, like they clicked a video and then 5 seconds in they're already away. It's like, oh, you must not be delivering on the promise, or you must have clickbaited them. Or like 30 seconds in, the same thing, or a minute in, same thing. So those are like very important milestones to hit. And I noticed that if I introduced my face cam like a minute in, I would lose like 10% of people immediately. But if I
That's Mike again. I'm getting out of here.
if I introduce it past 2 minutes in, like 2.5 minutes in, I lose no one. So
interesting.
Like,
the longer they stay in, the longer the chance they'll stay invested for the whole video.
Invested,
yeah.
And like at that, so I think that has been to me what's worked. But like I've also seen people put their face cam on right away, you know, and
well, if that's also their brand that they built too, that's another thing, you know.
Yeah.
They're actually, so a little bit of that could just be the beginning of them not being used to that with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll help you in the long run.
Used to it. I mean, it used to be what I would do. I used to. I mean, old YouTube was just so easy compared to now. Like I used to just sit there and just yap for like 2.5 minutes.
With your face on the screen?
Yeah. Like it would be just me just talking. Like
you should just do
you should start with like, hey guys, by the way, I'm doing a giveaway. Like I would start. That would be the first 10 seconds. Like I wouldn't even draw in people, and those videos would crush.
Yeah.